everyone, it's Lisa. I just wanted to share this layout with you using my Scraptastic kit. In our kit we got the September Skies Heidi Swapp color resist die cuts, and I decided to go ahead and color them with, instead of using the traditional spray mists, I decided to use my watercolors. So right now I'm just kind of getting a layer of the gray color that I chose for the layout. It's kind of like a monotone gray, and you'll see the other colors that I incorporate in with it coming up. But basically I just wanted to get one coat of that gray on there, and those watercolors I got at Michael's for $5, and that was a great deal. They're amazing. I love the colors. They just have like a lot of different shades, like of orange and blues. Most of the time the watercolors you don't get all the different shades, so I love them, and what a deal. So I'm putting one coat, or the first coat, on there, and I think I'm going ahead and just kind of adding a little bit more for a little bit of shading. And then I'm mixing a little gesso with some modeling paste together so that I can use a stencil to make my background. And I just wanted to have it be a little thicker than gesso but not as thick as the modeling paste, so I decided to mix the two together and then try to get that gray color using my Mr. Huey's, I think it's black, the black color, and I just did a big drop of the black just to make some gray. So, and it matched really perfect. I couldn't believe the way that it matched. I did not know that it was going to match that well, and that was not something I planned, so it was kind of a nice surprise. And I'm getting the background paper there, which I chose. It's the Amy Tan Stitched, the applique. I love that piece of paper, and I mounted it on some gray cardstock. And those are the stencils that I got. I can't remember where I got them, offline somewhere, but they're the Amy Tan stencils, and there's 6 of them in a pack, and they're really cute. So I chose these flowers to kind of match up with the Heidi Swapp flowers, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of place them on the paper where I want them to be. I think there ends up being 3 of them on there, and I'm kind of dabbing at the end instead of wiping, just to get a little bit more texture, because you know, if you wipe the stencil with the spatula then you get kind of a flat look, and I just wanted to dab it a little bit just to get more dimension and texture. And I really like the way that these came out, and I like the like, I could really hoard that paper. I love that Amy Tan paper with the hearts. And of course, as you know, black is one of my favorites, but I really love gray. So it's amazing paper. So right there, I'm just showing you the 3 flowers once they're dry. I matted the picture of Polly onto a piece of yellow, and now I'm just kind of adding some color to the edges just to kind of give it a little bit of pop. And another piece of paper from our kit, and that one is the gray is the Amy Tan Stitched. It's called Loom. It's really pretty, and I'm just distressing it with my Prima chalk ink with, I think it's like a dark gray color. And that's a picture of Polly. We had 6 inches of snow last week in the middle of April. It's crazy, and she wasn't impressed. She hates being cold, and she hates walking in the snow. She doesn't like getting her feet wet. So here I decided to add a little bit of color to the flowers, and my inspiration was the striped paper that you see there, which I think that might have been the Scraptastic. I think it might have been the Scraptastic exclusive paper called High Five, but I'm not positive. I liked the colors, and I decided that the colors in that striped paper matched perfectly with some of the watercolors, which was amazing. And so I used the teal, and then that like kind of burnt orange, and then the yellow. And I just had no idea how I was going to paint these flowers when I started off. It was one of the nights that my husband was working overnights, and it was late. He left for work at like 7:30, and I don't know, I was kind of down that he had to work 6 nights in a row. They're 12-hour shifts, so it's crazy. But anyways, So I was thinking, I don't know, and I was telling him I really wanted to paint these flowers, and he gets to listen to all my queer scrapbooking stories, and I don't know, he's a good guy. He always acts interested. I think he's interested. But anyway, the whole thing just came together really cool, and the way that I painted the flowers, I used this really pointy, thin paintbrush. It came with, I think, the watercolors, and it really worked good doing the detail on the flowers. And I didn't really think that the watercolors was gonna go is like stand out as much, but I think because what I did was I just put a little bit of water on the tip, and then I rolled it into the watercolor so that I got more of a color than like a muted tone that you usually get with watercolors. And it really worked out awesome. I was really excited about that technique. I'm gonna definitely use that again, whether it's on die cuts or background. But I guess I always thought that watercolors was you just got the traditional watercolor effect, and that you couldn't get a lot of color out of them like you could with, like, say, acrylic paints. I don't really do a lot of painting, so I don't have acrylic paints, but I decided to add a little bit more gray kind of in the middle of there, just to, I don't know, give it a little bit more pop. And then I was going over the leaves, kind of doing the edges just to add a little bit of shading to make it look more three-dimensional, I guess, which I think it really worked. And I love those die cuts, and I wasn't sure. I think I probably used 3/4 of the package of those on this layout just because I thought, well, I'm probably not going to use them again. I don't know, I get bored easily maybe because once I use something, I don't tend to use it a lot after that. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go ahead and paint them, use them up, and then, yeah, so they won't go to waste. And I'm just kind of getting the edges there just to give them a little bit more definition, and going over a second coat with the gray. Yeah, I really like that, the way that it came out. And those watercolors, like I said, $5. I mean, how can you go wrong spending $5? What can you get for $5? And I think I even used a coupon, which would make it $2.50. And it seems like when you use those coupons and you have something cheap like that, that you feel like you should go back and buy something bigger because you're getting 50% off. So, you want to have a lot in your cart when you're getting 50% off. But yeah, they're kind of chalky, those watercolors. They're I don't really know how to explain it, but they're not, when you wet them, I don't know if you can see in the picture there, but it kind of dries really fast, kind of like a chalk ink would. But the name of the layout is It's All Good, and the story behind that is just basically Polly went out that morning. We actually got up in the morning to go to work and had no idea we got 6 inches of snow. My husband had put away the snow blower, and the shovels are gone downstairs in the basement, and we wake up, let the dog out, and there's 6 inches of snow. So kind of crazy, because I think a few days before that it got up to like 70 degrees and a lot of the snow was melting, which was awesome. So anyways, here I'm just showing you a little close-up of how the flowers came out. And then I decided to add a little bit more color to the layout without adding more papers, because I didn't want to add too much color, because I did kind of want it to be, sort of a monotone. So I decided to use my watercolors and paint my background, the gesso and the modeling paste. And yeah, I think it came out really good. And I wasn't sure how well the watercolors would work on the modeling paste once it hardened, but it worked out really good. And I'm just kind of taking the point of my brush and just doing a little bit of, I don't know, I guess they're kind of like lines around the flower petals. And I think I start off with one color and give it a little bit, time to dry, and then go back and add the other colors pretty much the same 3 colors that were my inspiration for the layout. Actually 4, because gray was one of them. And then I think once I finish doing all the flowers, I decide that they're a little bit brighter than the die cut, so I take some water at the end and just kind of, you know, go over it just to mute it down a little bit, if that makes sense. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this layout. It took a lot of time. I really had to speed the video up, and I apologize, some of it's going really fast, but it was really long, and I didn't want to have you guys sitting through a, hour-long video, because I don't know about you, but I don't know, I like them to be like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes, so that I can watch more than one in an evening. So I sped it up, but even though it took a lot of time, it was fun. But yeah, some of my layouts, it's funny because I'll put a ton of time into them. It makes no sense, not a ton of time, but you know what I mean. I put a lot of time into them, and I think I probably only complete maybe one a week, plus my project life, just because I don't know, I just seem to like take forever to do a layout, and then I can't decide where I want to put things, and I hem and haw forever. But I guess this one, considering all like the waiting for stuff to dry and the different coats of paint and stuff, I guess it wasn't too bad as far as time. But yeah, I'm just kind of checking out to see where the photo is going to be. I don't want to cover up too much of the flowers. I spend a lot of time painting them, and I always tend to make a background and then cover it up. I think we all tend to do that, but I'm trying to pay more attention. I know that we're going to cover up some of it, and I have no problem doing that, but I didn't want to cover up all of it because I wanted to be able to see the detail on the painting. And now I'm taking my Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and start trying to figure out where I want to put the flowers, and I've already secured the picture down at this point. And I just kind of wanted the 2 on the right to kind of peek out from behind the picture of Polly, wishing it was spring and it wasn't snowing. And I just did a black and white photo there because I just wanted to not have as much color on the layout, where it was going to be kind of a monotone. But yeah, when I got that close-up photo, you can see like the pieces of ice and snow and stuff on her nose. Yeah, she pretty much wasn't impressed. But I end up popping up a couple of the flowers, I think the smaller ones, on some foam tape just to give it a little bit more dimension and have it be kind of 3-dimensional. And so I'm just using those. Actually, I originally put them on those pop dots. I guess that's what you call them, foam dots. And then it stuck out way too much, and it was driving me crazy, so I didn't bore you with the details of ripping them off the layout and putting them on, and I ended up using some foam tape, which was a lot thinner, so I think it blended it a lot more. Yeah, I tried to cut all those. I cut out the stuff where I'm indecisive and peeling stuff up, which I always seem to end up not being allowed to get through a layout without pulling something up and re-gluing it. But yeah, I think I'm liking the way this is coming out, and that little round die cut says Smile Pretty, and then under that Smile Pretty die cut I end up putting a yellow bow, and it pretty much is the only bright color on the whole page, but you don't see it because I don't do it until after I finish the layout, stop the video, and then I'm putting all my things away, and I realize that I got these really cute bows. I think we got like 3 black and 3 yellow in the kit, Actually, it wasn't from this kit, it was from March, from my kit from March. And I saw them and I just thought it would look really cute because there's a little bit of yellow peeking out from behind the photo where I matted it on that yellow paper. But I do put pictures in the end so you'll be able to see the way that that bow looks. I really like the way it looked, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of brought all the colors together. Even though the colors are pretty muted, it brought them all together. So I think I'm going to be looking for some gray alphas here pretty soon. And I think I find a color that matches really, really well with the rest of the colors on the layout. Yeah, there they are, the Webster's pages, those mini alphas, which I love those. I use those a lot for my project life. But I just ordered a bunch of colors. And I wanted to get a sheet for my giveaway, which I'm going to be doing the drawing in the next, see, today's the 11th, so on the 15th. So watch out for that video because the winner is going to be announced. I'm really excited about that. I got some really cool stuff to send out, and I can't wait. I love buying things for people. But yeah, when I placed my order for those alphas, I did get some to put in the giveaway. I love that glue. It seems to hold down pretty good, and it dries pretty clear. This is just one of the things that we got in the kit that I'm putting down there, the flare badges, and it had a couple little colors in it that I liked. These little enamel dots, the little black ones, are the little, like, they're not the really good enamel dots, they're cheap ones that you can get at Michael's. I think I got them for 79 cents. I love those. I use a lot of these in my project life, and I just thought if I added a little bit of black to the middles of the flowers and the stars, then it would draw your eye to the flowers and just give a little pop of color to the page. So I tend to do that a lot. I just like the way it looks. It was just a little bit, well, not boring, but I like it better with the little black dots. So, and I get my Amy Tan roller stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and just stamp on there. That one says "What a Day," and I stamp that a couple times. And then I put the date on there because I thought, you know, I didn't want to do a lot of journaling because pretty much the picture says it all with the date. And I'm going to go ahead and put some Mr. Huey's black splash mist on there, and then also I think yeah, I add yellow. I add yellow once that dries. And thank you guys for watching. I'm really excited about this page, and I hope you enjoyed all the different techniques that I used. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And yeah, watch out for my giveaway winner, which is coming out pretty soon in the next couple days. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.